Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 210. Wee bit late, looks like we've got some technical problems with the internet today, so we'll see how it goes. It's running a bit slow. I'll just kick off the intro and do a few checks. Be here in a minute. Looks like Google's at least a minute behind here. Hello. Good to be back. We're back again. Keep it civil in the side comments. Try not to F. Find some other words for it. Anyway. I had a few problems here. Hopefully it's solved. I think it's because Sunday everybody's on the internet, huh? What's that popping up there? So I'm not sure who's out there joining us. Said there was 3 on before. So yeah, you can see that our subs have been slowly going up, which is good. Hopefully we'll get more watching. That's the key here, but people just seem to like a video and sub. Don't turn on the notifications either, and never come back again, which is kind of crazy. So at the moment we've got almost 2,000 subs, but probably only about 100 watch. Mostly offline as well, but yeah, it can only get better. I think 2020 is the year, but Google's changing things, so it's probably going to kill off a few of us. But that's why I've got to back up channels and plan Bs in progress, just in case it gets nasty. So yeah, I'm not too sure how the internet's going, but it looks like Google was at least 2 or 3 minutes behind my screen capture. I'm not sure how that's even possible, but hopefully since I reset it, it's come good. Haven't got the music running still, have I? Don't think so. Just got to check out a few things here. So who we got on the side here? No Shelley. Where's all the other people, the regulars? Alright, we'll just get on to Tyler in a minute. I don't, with Tyler, you don't know what's truthful or not. So I'm just going to type up my welcome message. But yeah, one of my terms was no trolling in the side comments, so you'll just get kicked otherwise. Just keep your mind open and listen. So I ask, Secureteam, how many times must I go over Secureteam, telling people how to research his background and all that. So yeah, Tyler News and UFO videos today. What's this? So yeah, let me just turn that screen off there. Okay, so we've got 4 watching, 1 like so far. So yeah, so if you'd missed the live with Robert on Saturday, it was a very good one. A case from Brazil, with multiple witnesses and some strange alien beings that were meant to be picked up by the military. So see if you believe in that story or not. There was meant to be some strangeness with people catching a virus or something, and one person dying. So yeah, we never know if viruses do come from panspermia, from asteroid impacts, but most likely they evolve on Earth regardless and mutate and beat our drugs. So it's becoming a bit of a problem at the moment with the antibiotics not working. It's funny how they do antibiotics though. They go into all these different cave systems and try and find ancient bacteria. And they take scrapings of walls and all that sort of stuff to see if they can find any viruses that may even come from animal excretions like bats in caves. Dig down into ice pits and stuff like that to try and find ancient bacteria that they can use to fight against viruses. Kind of interesting, because I suppose viruses evolve, they may forget how to defend against older stuff maybe that they used to. So yeah, if you've not been watching the feeds on Twitter and Facebook lately, you may not have heard the news that's been posted around, so I'll just go over that. Here we got with us Phoenix. How's it going? Yeah. Well, you can do some background researches and with his name and location, and there's a profile saying that he's interested in acting and drama and stuff. And it looks like him, but it's a young picture. So when he was like in his early 20s or teens. So yeah, just type in his name. And it's on there to be found publicly. But the news coming out here, everybody's been saying that he's been abducted by aliens, all these strange rumours about Tyler. Because he hasn't put out a video for 2.5 months now, hasn't it? It's quite a long time for him. He's said that he was working on a documentary, and then people want to know what kind of documentary, and he wouldn't tell. So he did a crowdfund for a documentary called Opiate Alley. So people think he may have had a drug addiction, so another rumour come from that. I suggested maybe he was doing something with Corval because they've become good friends. So they may be working on a UFO documentary, God forbid. What was the other rumours? That he was in prison and jail time. He was sick or died. It's just like the rumours that you get on normal social media, right? So, and of course, comments in the chat. But someone was good enough that lives in the same town as him to notice something that popped up on a website. And he sent a snapshot here. But I've got the website it's from, which is better. 26 found guilty this week. So I'll just open up that. Now, I don't know how many Tyler Clockners live in the same town with the same age, but you can make up your mind whether it's him or not. So, Notch Pages has come out. The judge looking pretty seriously there. Mount Principal Court, whereabouts is that, I wonder? Is that in Idaho? What's this place? I always have trouble with it for some reason. Ohio, as is meant to be a city it lives in. Whereabouts is that? Oh, that's great. Where have we got two places? So, is that the right location? It looks like it's getting a bit hot in here. Well, it looks like the right state for him. But what's this other one over here? Where's that other one disappeared to? Is that a mistake? I suppose it's possible to have two place names. It's way at the top there. Makes no sense, does it? Of course, people can add, looks like a house address here, doesn't it? Let's see. A bit confusing. Houses and some business district here, so it looks like it is a court. So we're assuming it's this other one over here. I think that's smack in the middle of the city again. Looks like it. Doesn't look as big as other states though, does it? So down here, doesn't give us any more clues, location, but let's scroll down to December the 11th, December the 10th, first time we got this thing here. So I'll just read it out. 33 Portsmouth, I'm pretty sure that's his, what he lists on his PO box on his website. So we'll just check that out.
Tyler Glockner, 33, of Portsmouth, was found guilty of operating a vehicle while under the influence of alcohol and/or a drug of abuse. The court sentenced him to pay a $500 fine, serve 180 days in jail, with 177 days suspended, placed him on 2 years of community control with the following condition: attend and complete a 72-hour driver intervention program, and suspended his operator's license for 1 year.
Alright, so we need to look up his website just to confirm that could be him. We're not got swearing on the site, have we? Yeah, you got to be civil now, because Google got some new rules about harassment and hate speech, you know. So so what does he say in his about tab here? This has got the address still. He used to have the address contact list details. But yeah, where's it disappeared to? I suppose it might have it on a video. So yeah, so maybe he got, maybe it is him. He got done for drunk driving or drugs. Has to do rehab. Lose his license for 2 years, is it? Maybe he's been feeling a bit depressed about that, and maybe he wasn't going to tell you the truth, what really happened to him, because as we know, he's done a lot of fraudulent videos online to sucker a lot of UFO folks, so which you can prove yourself, and he has admitted to doing one of the voices to, what's his name, John Austin of UK Express. Make an excuse that he received it in email, that it was corrupted, so he decided to make a fake voice for it without any disclaimer in the video. And when he got found out, it was only up for probably a few days when it got found out, and deleted it. He created another video after that one saying, oh yeah, it turns out this video is actually a fake, and he had to make a fake voice for it and all this. And then he deleted both videos because people weren't buying it, and he thought delete it because he's building up his channel using the UK papers at the time. Oh, here we go. Portsmouth, there we go. Secureteam. So it sounds like the same one. I don't think you could get two Tyler Klockners in the same location, same age.
Secureteam 1712, 11th St. Portsmouth, 045,662, box 372.
So I think that's got to be him, eh? What do you think out in the side chat? So how come this? How come we got two locations for this court though? Anyone understand what that could be? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Why they'd have two courts with the same name? There's no need for that. Yeah, just keep the name calling off the side. I know everybody's angry that they found out that he was faking stuff. But yeah, once someone's a liar, right? Some people are just great liars, and there's a lot of criminals actually using YouTube to make money. You probably just don't know it because you've not done the background checks on them. I'm talking about felony convictions, not just drunk driving though. Talking about stealing goods, drugs, selling drugs. So you'll be surprised what's out there on YouTube. And all they need is a PayPal, right, and Patreon, and away they go. So I'll post the link in the side link there. I suppose we could do a whois to find out where that website's located. Knox pages. So you could do a who is. That's how you look up who owns the domain. .com, was it? It might give us a location where the website's run. Sometimes they have it hidden, but if it's a court, they shouldn't have anything hidden. GoDaddy. No, it's come up with .net though, and that's not the location, is it? We need to find the .com one. See, this is what happens too, is scammers change the domain names slightly to use phishing techniques, as they call it, start with PH, not F, to get people's passwords or con people. So you got to check out everything. You just can't take things at face value, right? Just in case hackers made a really clever page to try and discredit people. And basically, as you know, I check into all this, which is what I'm doing now. And what have we got for this one? There you go, it's in the right state. So it's quite handy, that. And of course it's not encrypted or hidden. Like a lot of scammers there set up websites and they have their name and address hidden, or don't have like a PO box or anything available, and they just use the people that register the name from address instead, and they say contact them if you have a problem. But when you're hunting down criminals, you check up all this technical side of things just to make sure everything's sort of checking out. And it looks like it is, right? So I could post you a link there where you can check out various websites for yourself. So what was the other one there? .net. Still the same as well. I suppose you could do some more checks on that too. Tyler's got more problems. Well, I don't think we should give anyone that mocks the UFO community another chance. People that he was given lots of chances to come clean about his faking voices and photoshops and his fake troll account that he did to make a video on called Angry Truth Seeker. Again, I've sort of repeating myself, but it's all in my previous lives and playlist if you haven't had a watch. So what else we got here? Lots of pages. Local events. So it looks like it's a state type website to inform people what's going on. Law reports, news, sports, local events. And they've got a Twitter account here, by the looks of it. So that's sort of checking out that there are news type facility, reporters, media, advertising. So that's probably their game there, is to sell advertising space. Flu cases on the rise. Alright, so it's Knox County. So what's that on the web? Yeah. What is a county in America? Is it like a village, I suppose? A sub of a state, a town inside a city. Maps. So it does look like it's in the location where the courthouse was, I think. Let's have a look. It certainly looks like it. National. Oh, there we go. I think it's probably as much as I can do to verify that. That looks pretty good. So on to the next topic, I guess. So you got the links there, you can check it out for yourself. So I did some searching on Twitter last night for some old reports on Secureteam, and the UFO interest was probably the biggest person there, as well as UFO Theatre. And as you can see here, which I'll post a link to the Twitter account. So if you don't believe anything I'm telling you, you can go and see what other people are saying. Secureteam, a known hoax promoter, often read opinions such as, "Hey, he's not a hoaxer and I can't say I've seen or heard him fabricate anything." Well, Tyler of Secureteam fabricated these fake videos with Photoshop and CGI, adding fake witnesses and fake stories. So he's got a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 there, but I don't know if there's any more to that. So yep, and it goes on a bit here. Those videos are still online despite they are all fake. Many of his followers don't know that Tyler. So this is going back to January 2007, was it? Or January this year. So he did an update, but he's got lots of posts going back years. But I think Twitter only allows you to search a few years back, actually. So you can see he's taken in these videos he would have deleted by now, I think, surely. But yeah, it's a copyright picture from 2012, and he's obviously added in a fake UFO. Same as Section 52 used to do, and there was the other ones out there that used to do these Photoshop fakes. Yeah. So he's saying the original photograph knew that his photos were being used to fake videos. After our recent exchanges, I now know that he fakes stuff. I'm no CGI expert and can generally spot a bad fake, but when the ones I've seen where he changes his voice are appalling. Why do this? It just harms the UFO community. So obviously that person's seen my videos. Oh, right, John's there. So glad that you and Paul are on Out There channel, debunking Tyler. That little hit. I am so sick and tired of people constantly putting up so many fake UFO paranormal videos and muddying up the waters even more than they already are, which is bad enough. I called him out on numerous videos over the years, same as Third Phase, and of course that's probably going to go on a bit. More replies. Oh no. The Kings of the Fake songs written there. So yeah, you got the link there, you can go and check it out for yourself. Don't have to take my word for things, do your own research and background checks. So on to the next one. What year was this one? 2015, way before I started my channel. Someone here has even said they realised he was faking back then. So that's 4 years ago now. When a fan of Secureteam discovers Tyler Klockner is just a UFO hoaxer. Comment. So yeah, this is a year before even, well, probably a couple of years, because I started in November 2016, my channel. So this is UFO Theatre posting, and it's what's shared by UFO Interest. Yeah, we don't know about his family. He may have had someone pass away. I suppose no one's found any death notices in the paper, but then again, the relatives' names could be different, right? So, well, liars, criminals, what do you call it, blue collar crime. will lie about anything to save their asses. To make people feel sorry for you, donate more money, keep the donations going, even though you're not going to put up some videos for a long time. I don't know. Some people are just sad. It's not the sort of thing I would do. In fact, I don't even make money. I probably make a loss every year on my channel, because I always got to buy new equipment because it wears out. So yeah, this guy here, it's because we can't get it read out. My name is Rex. I'm a recovering Secureteam 10 junkie. I was one of the thousands waiting for his next video with bated breath. I would stay up well past the time I should have been in bed to watch a late posting of one of his late night videos. I fell for it, and hard. I thought I had found a real UFO channel that was updated with regular videos on the subject I was very curious about. The music, the videos are very professionally done and stayed on the subject, not wandering into ghosts and other phenomena. Well, he sort of has, though, hasn't he, since then? Then I found UFO Theatre, who shot down my dreams of believing in a real UFO channel that I presumed was Secureteam 10. I didn't want to believe it at first, and I posted a rude and crude remark on this very same video. I get lots of those too, of him being jealous and hateful towards the only UFO channel I believe and trusted in. So that's the thing, once your trust is lost on a channel, there's no going back. He kindly asked me to check the facts he provided, which I often tell people to. If you don't believe me, go and do the checks. I show you on a thing called Secureteam Owes Me $1 million, how you can actually do that. You can find the old videos that are still duplicated, unless he's managed to clean them up, which I doubt. And then you can run it through the voice software yourself. He kindly asked me to check the facts he provided, and if I wanted to continue to believe entirely at Secureteam, I could, and that it was my choice. But I couldn't leave it at that. Had to prove UFO Theatre wrong. I had to know for myself. So I checked out his facts. I reviewed the available videos, and as my faith in Secureteam began to falter, I only become angry at how gullible I was and how easily I was duped into believing Secureteam was a reliable source of current UFO sightings and events. Now I watch as thousands of new people flood his YouTube. So back 2015, I think he would only had like 50,000 subs back then. And since then, more people have joined and don't see this stuff online, right? They don't do background check. People send it an email and say, check out this video, and they think, wow. And that's how I sort of got to know Tyler. Someone in the UFO field sent me, have a look at this one, and I did, and I thought, wow, this is interesting. Is there going to be an update to this video? And there was never an update where he was talking about buildings on a comet, P67, I think it was. All his videos never have updates. If someone's sending you information in secure email, but like Linda Moulton Howe receives her stuff, she goes and interviews them, she gets more information, she keeps on it, which you have to give her credit for that, even though she tends to believe a lot of the stuff that she receives, and then she uses it to keep her income coming in, which is another problem. But so yeah, what's happened here? Oh dear, it looks like it's shrunk it down. Oh yeah, I'll just zoom in that way. So is anything else here? Gullible. Now I watch 1,000 people flood YouTube who are nothing more than sheeple like I was. I now realize that I'm acceptable to all forms of manipulation, and that I cannot trust anything I see or hear in a video. I have to give it to him. He is a good video producer and good storyteller, but he has no credibility and mocks ufology, which I've been saying for a long time. So there you go. So I just wanted to recap those ones because we've got a few newcomers and people attacking me, of course. And yeah, just do the research. All I can do is prove via software analysis and skills, like I've just shown you here on fact checking the website, just to prove facts, and you can do the same. So you can forget about the rumours, actually just find the real stuff. But there, back in 2015, they knew he was doing fake voices and deleting the videos when it was found out. So, and it was before I even started my channel. That's why I got 2016 in the name. Yeah, it's a bit sad that we got people creating fakes that ruins it for us, that are really into the UFO topic. We want to know the truth. We want to know if aliens are visiting. So yeah, I know there's a bit of side chat going on. I don't know if anyone's helping me maintain it here. And I believe his word is fact. I believed in him a couple of years till I came across the video that reversed his filter for Ken. Yep, that's what I found too. So I went looking for more videos and I found those other ones, Dr. Norton and Area 51 dude, which turns out to be his very first video on his channel. You remember he did an interview with Fade to Black and he said he didn't do too much for the first 2 years. That's because he deleted most of the videos. They were pretty bad. He was, like you said, some of those ones with the fake photoshops were clear-cut photoshops. He deleted all those. Claims that he received them in email. Never proved it by taking a screen snapshot and blocking out the person's name or anything like that. Never went back to interview the people. Which you would do if you were doing a serious UFO channel, right? Or a researcher. So yeah. So this is why I started my channel up. I was annoyed as well, and I started my channel up. Tried to learn how to make videos. Early days I wasn't too great at it, but I think I'm better at it now. And yeah, I just hope people join us in the fun of actually looking at real UFO stuff here, instead of having to hang on around his channel and said Face of the Moon. They've been called out faking stuff too. I've covered it in various videos. They did a live event where clearly they had some sort of sheet of glass up that was reflecting off some lights around the edge of the house, saying that the lights were above Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas, Los Angeles. And when they were playing it back on a tablet, you could see their camera angle was slightly different, because that's what happens with reflections, and you could see it was tilted lights, which I think Cuvid pointed out on the live stream. So you can go and see that live stream, because we did 5 hours on it, talking about it, and of course they deleted it the next day, right, claiming that the person didn't want his the person renting out the property wasn't happy to have their house on TV or something like that, even though you couldn't see any house because it was all outside on the balcony. So it was a really poor excuse. There was no street address. There was no thing to give away other than that we're on a sort of like a mountain ridge there, filming over the city, but well, a hill ridge, what do you want to call it? So yeah. Anything else that you want to know, just let me know. Looks like it's just 2 years talking. Where's Snipes? How's it going? It's good that you guys joined us at least.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we got another sub. Matthew, how's it going? Sometimes the counters don't update though. You get a little dancing alien when someone subs. Looks like it triggered, at least. It only works because a lot of people have their privacy turned on, so their names are not revealed in the API software. Which is kind of strange, because some of the names appear in the Studio Beta list, but they don't appear in the API. So I reckon that's just something Google's mucked up there. See, the counters didn't come up. So probably someone subbed probably an hour ago, and then suddenly Google goes and checks them out. Make sure they're not a troll account, and then updates the list. You can see the numbers didn't change. Kind of strange how they do it, but that's what they said they were doing anyway. They were saying it's not going to be real time, which is fair enough. Because obviously they do some checks now. I think they're going to get rid of the dislikes or the likes. They're going to do something there, I think, because they're getting fed up with people just not watching it and then voting straight away. But I said to them feedback lots of times that why don't they just have it so they can keep track of how many minutes you watch of a video, and you've got to at least watch 5 minutes before the voting thumbs ups happen, or even better, so that it's not anonymous, is to get rid of the thumbs completely and have a comment, but then once you commented you can then rate the channel, but like you can do with AliExpress when you order something. So you can say 1 to 5 stars.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got some more subs popping up here on the list. So on to the next topics then, on to UFO topics rather than faking and frauds. Found this article here about Elements 115. A storied Russian lab is trying to push the periodic table past its limits and uncover exotic new elements. So yeah, it's in what's the channel name? Science something or other. Probably gonna have to get a drink. My voice is going croaky. So yeah, it's quite a big article though. Sciencemag.org. So yeah, I wanted to see if they were doing any more research on element 115 since they discovered it in 2000, was it? 2000 something? Long time ago. Hey, hang on, I'm just going to have to put on a fan here. It's so humid. Because element 115 is relates to Bob Lazar. We still got audio. Gotta check. Yeah, it all relates to him saying that the government had 115, so many kilos of it, which hasn't been proven, of course. And people were wondering whether he had taken some samples from the lab and has hidden them. But he got an FBI raid that he was claiming that they're making up an excuse to search for it when they actually were on the warrant that I've talked about in the past. They were searching for a cold case. Apparently someone bought some poison element from the store, which is used to mix with other radioactive compounds to create new compounds, but it can be used to also kill people. So apparently someone bought it from the store and poisoned the wife. So yeah, if you've not heard about that, then you need to go back and watch some of my old lives about Bob Lazar. But here, I thought maybe they were doing some more experiments with 115, but it looks to me like they've given up on it and they're progressing to up to element 128 and beyond. They're looking at elements up to 172, but because of technology, they're not able to create it. The way they do it is quite complex. So you're talking about the table here with the normal elements you find naturally in the universe, and then you get the man-made ones at the end here, which are heavy elements with a lot of protons in the core of the atom. So I'll just read out a chunk of this here anyway. It's quite interesting what they're researching, how it could lead to new findings, right? So it could be, because they're probably doing this because they want to get a fusion reactor going instead of a nuclear reaction going. So they got clean energy. And once they've got that, you can put it into a room on a spaceship and have endless rocket power, right? Whether it's ion engines, where you use power from nuclear cell to create a ion thrust, or it could be one of these warp drive ideas that's using microwave energy.
Some scientists argue that finding new elements is not worth the money, especially when those atoms are inherently unstable and will disappear in a blink. I personally don't find it exciting, as a scientist, just to produce more short-lived elements, says Witold Natsawicz, a physicist who studies nuclear structure at Michigan State University in East Lansing.
Yeah, someone's mentioned Steve Barone. I actually have got to analyze him today, probably after this bit here. He films nothing amazing, mate. He's either delusional or is a fraud, and the latest video was posted up not long ago. I did have a link to it, for some reason it's disappeared. Let me just see if I can find it again. I got this thing that saves your tabs, which is quite handy. Let's see. Right, Rob. This guy. So we need to go over that next. So I had a look at that video and debunked it, but I'll go over it. Destroy small UFOs. But yeah, we'll get there in time. So the element hunters, as I call them, payoff is compelling.
But to element hunters, the payoff is compelling. The new elements would extend the table now 7 rows deep to an 8th row, where some theories predict exotic traits will emerge. Elements in that row might even destroy the table's very periodicity because chemical and physical properties might not repeat at regular intervals anymore. Pushing further into the 8th row also could answer questions that scientists have wrestled with since Dmitry Mendelev's day: how many elements exist? And how far does the table go?
Probably infinite, right? But there's probably a limit to the technology to make them. See, the problem is getting them stable is the question. So the heaviest elements found. Let's just have a read of that bit.
The heaviest element found in any appreciable amount in nature is uranium, atomic number 92. The atomic number refers to the number of protons in an atom's nucleus. Beyond that, scientists must create new elements in accelerators, usually by smashing a beam of light atoms into a target of heavy atoms. Every so often, the nuclei of the light and heavy atoms collide and fuse, and a new element is born. Slamming neon element 10 into uranium, for example, yields nobelium 102.
Heck, my light's gone behind there. The odds of fusion, you see, it's a fusion process. I've got a little diagram down here, how they do it.
But the odds of fusion and survival decrease markedly as atoms grow heavier because of increased repulsion between the positively charged nuclei, among other factors. Creating most elements in the superheavy realm beyond 104 therefore requires special tricks. Organocyan developed one in the 1970s, cold fusion. Unrelated to the notorious nuclear power work of the 1980s, Organocyan's cold fusion involves uniting beam and target atoms that are more similar in size than those in traditional element making. And rather than smashing them together, we bring two nuclei together so that it is a soft touching, Organocyan says. Doing that is harder than it sounds because the beam and target nuclei are both positively charged and therefore repel each other. Incoming atoms need enough speed to overcome that repulsion, but not so much that they blow the resulting superheavy nucleus apart.
So, 60 million super heavy elements. What's that talking about there?
Element maker. The $60 million super heavy element factory chef in Dubna, Russia, aims to create new elements that extend the periodic table by colliding a beam of nuclei with a target. Compared with previous accelerators, the chef has a more intense beam, which is accelerated to roughly 1/10 the speed of light in a tight space.
So, we're talking about other elements here, over 100.
A team at the Wilhelmholtz Center for Heavy Iron Research in Darmstadt, Germany, perfected Organocyan's technique and used it to create elements 107 through 112. But the method ran into limitations as the odds of fusion and survival dropped precipitously. Starting in 2003, a team at the Riken Institute in Waco, Japan, tried to use cold fusion to create element 113, firing zinc element 30 onto bismuth 83. They got one atom the next year and another in 2005, which they celebrated in their control room with cheers, beers, and sake.
So where have we heard of the bismuth element? Recently with the metamaterials from Linda Moulton Howe and To the Stars. So yeah, you can see why it would be used in exotic materials for UFOs, let alone secret space planes. And when was 115 discovered? I think it did say here somewhere. So it's talking about getting beyond 113, so it's getting a bit more tricky now.
Getting beyond 113 required a different approach, hot fusion, which flare of scientists have developed in the late 1990s. Hot fusion uses higher beam energies and relies on a special isotope with a large excess of neutrons, calcium-48. Neutrons stabilize a superheavy atom by diluting the repulsive force of protons, which would otherwise tear the nucleus apart. Calcium-48 is expensive. It must be laboriously isolated from natural calcium sources at $250,000 per gram.
Wow.
But the investment paid off. Riken sweated for 9 years to find 3 atoms of 113. Dubna snagged that many atoms of 114 within 6 months, a discovery Organocyan and colleagues celebrated in their control room with cheers, beers, and shots of spirits.
So they keep drinking a lot. So cheers and beers up there, and now they're still into spirits now, so they're progressing. And so now we're talking about element 115. So they've talked about making it stable with isotopes, possibility of isotopes, but it seems to me that they've sort of forgotten about that one and moving on to other combinations, 116 and onwards. I think they got 20 minutes stable for element 118, 118, which sounds a lot better than 115. So Lazar apparently in that month that he had an interview with Knapp, there was a Scientific American magazine that came out talking about element 115 heading towards it, and he may have just used that for the interview, right? So it kind of makes sense. If the magazine had come out after the interview, then you couldn't then relate it because the information wasn't out there, and because he was obviously a scientist subscribed to that magazine. Oh, I've got too much selected there. That'll do. Sometimes it won't select it properly.
To that point, producing the next few super heavies was largely arithmetic. Calcium is element 20, and calcium plus americium, element 95, yielded element 115. Calcium plus curium, 96, yielded element 116, and so on. By 2010, Dudmer, in collaboration with scientists at Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in California and Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee, had filled the periodic table's 7th row.
So, what year was that for 115? 2010 is what they're saying there. So it's pretty recent then, I guess. So here they're talking about after 118 or 118 element.
After 118, however, things stalled again. Fusion requires several milligrams of the target element, and producing enough Einsteinium, element 99, to make element 119 is impossible with today's technology. Some researchers proposed replacing calcium-48 with titanium-50, which has 2 more protons, and then firing it at element 97 and 98 to produce 119 and 120, respectively. But for technical reasons, the likelihood of fusion is just 1/20th as high with titanium as with calcium. For most accelerators, that drops the odds of success into the realm of Riken's experiments to create 113 God's statistics all over again.
So the problem is the half-life is like microseconds for a lot of these things. And I think 118, they got it for 20 minutes before it broke down. So half-life means it loses stability and ejects particles from it, obviously. So it's like a jigsaw, you build up a jigsaw and then you start losing bits of it again, and it breaks down. So it starts to decay again. So yeah, you can see already they're getting up there in the bigger numbers. How people have said, well, 115 is nothing special. Like there's going to be a 120 and 130, 170, and already they've shown that they're finding techniques to be able to do that, right? So do we need to read out any more of this here? I don't know. Goes on a bit, like I told you, but the article's there on the side. So they're talking about 120 here. I think Mad Scientist talked about 120 probably 6 months ago in a podcast, saying that they're probably going to invent 120. It's nothing magical. It's just going to happen. Just the technology needs to be able to be formulated to do it. And of course the energy, and of course the cost is very expensive from what they were saying there. $250,000 a gram of the material that they're using.
The stronger beam and more generous separator should, in theory, cancel out the lower odds of titanium-50 fusion. That gives the Dudner team a hope that atoms of 119 or 120 will soon reveal themselves. A team at Riken is also searching for 119, albeit using a different and perhaps harder method, firing vanadium, element 23, onto curium. Between the two labs, scientists are confident that 119 and 120 will appear somewhere within about 5 years.
So we're getting there. So anything else we need to know on this? So yeah, a bit more science there. So there's the table. Russian and United States independently. So United States only, Germany. So a few countries there working on making the bigger elements. So what they said, there might be some unusual properties that occurs once we make these elements. Maybe they'll figure out anti-gravity, who knows. But I don't think you can create anti-gravity. I think what you can do is you can nullify gravity so you become more buoyant. And you need that needs such amount of fuel and big engines to be able to push it very fast. Is basically what I've been saying in past lives streams about Tesla's research and the idea of mass reduction skins. So what we got here, Japan in blue, Germany, Japan's that one. So they're already adding quite a few more rows to the table here. One prominent theory, let's have a read of that bit there, about 172. While I get a drink.
One prominent theory predicts an end at element 172. No one knows what will happen above that point, but for quantum mechanical reasons, an atom's nucleus might start to gobble up electrons and fuse them with protons, producing neutrons as a byproduct. That process would continue until the proton count dropped back to 172, providing a hard cap on the atomic number. And if that sounds weird, well, that's quantum mechanics. Other research suggests elements will run out long before 172. As nuclei get larger, the repulsive force between protons becomes overwhelming. By general consensus, a nucleus must survive for at least 1014 seconds to count as a new element. Given how fragile elements in the 110 seconds already are, heavier elements might struggle to hold on even that long. Some scientists predict that nuclei can overcome that problem by twisting into exotic shapes, hollow bubbles, or even lattice-like buckyballs. But other scientists doubt those shapes would be stable, which is a shame, because exciting things could happen in the 130 seconds or 140 seconds. In particular, the sine qua non of the periodic table, its periodicity could break down completely.
So yeah. So very interesting. But we won't delve too much into the science here, but my idea is that Bob just took a guess and said that it was used in reactors of UFOs for antimatter to create a stream of gravity waves. So I say his science is wrong, and in time it'll be proven to be so, I think. So yeah, Steve Barone. So let's start looking at other stuff now. So that's the one about Tyler that we read out. We believe it's him. We did some checks earlier on. So we'll just close that one down. So yeah, I got this seed, tagged C-seed, as you call it in email, carbon copy. And it looks like it's gone too deep. That's a WizKid guy here. So he's blocked me, so I don't know if he's replied, because you don't get to replies. But we have a quick look at Steve's video here, claims. Let's see if I can open it up. That pause, hopefully. So, UFOs over Vegas. I'll just play some of it. So we begin. Looks like he's got a 3D map from Google, because he lives around the edge. Now, I've brought up Steve Barone before and debunked his stuff as car lights on mountain passes, because they've got service roads to antenna farms all around there because they're surrounded by these mountains. They also got power lines that come over. I suppose Vegas has got a lot of power lines that's got to power it all. And I don't think there's any nuclear power stations in Vegas itself, so they've got to bring the power over the mountains. And also got to power up the antennas up the mountains. But yeah, I'm not too sure on the nuclear thing. I'd have to check that out. But yeah, this plays some of this here. I don't know. I'll just mute him. I think it's just got music. Just play it up a wee bit. I don't think it's playing sound anyway, because I haven't reset the thing. So yeah, he's got houses that get in the way here. So he's claiming this sphere is a UFO. Where you can see here, obviously, the mountain looks like something built on the mountain here, looks like buildings. And because night vision always overexposes, it always creates these big blobby lights, as we found with Third Face on the Moon's video. Remember they're doing that one which turned out to be people doing search and rescue, and some boats like Coast Guard on the water with spotlights. Now, obviously, I don't know if you've seen Vegas, but they've got a lot of neon signs, they've got a lot of high-rise buildings with lights on, and because if you get a daytime snap, which you're really lucky to get, so you can overlay the daytime shot with his night vision slot, and you can actually see what type of buildings that he's claiming as UFOs, and you can see that the lights actually come off buildings and stuff. So I've done some debunks on Barone on Facebook, which I didn't turn into videos, but I overlaid, because someone asked him for a snap of where he was standing, and I overlaid it, and you can see it was on lights of, looked like service cars on a mountain road. So I'll just play a bit. Now, lucky enough, he's left the timestamp in the corner here, which helps us out. Because he hasn't used any tools to, like, you got to always be careful of skywatchers that don't use the tools. The tools of the traders, Heavens Above app, and Flight Radar app, to prove it's not a plane that's in front of him. This guy never does anything like that because he knows it's not a UFO. Steve does not film good videos. Go and check out some of my past stuff. Now, we got this flashing light here. Is it a car this time on a mountain road behind? Like a fire truck, maybe? Ambulance. Service truck with flashing lights. So that's the first thing. You can see here, it looks like a roof of a edge of a roof of a building on the thing. And you can see here, it definitely looks like rotating flashing lights that you get on top of a car, or maybe a plane, well, a helicopter, like a police helicopter. But there, now it's going upwards, which sort of debunks that could be a car on a road. So now we're looking at, is it possibly a helicopter with a blinking light? This is one of these color night vision cameras. Still not very good. It's speeding up now, so clearly it's a flying craft of some sort. As you can see here, it looks like it's two parts. So we probably zoom in a chunk of that. Although it's not going to do much good, I don't think. It's going to be two blobs, I think. Always got to be critical thinking, guys. You always got to check out stuff for yourself. Now, Mick West has got a debunk for some of his videos as well. You know, Mick West, he's pretty thorough in his stuff. He overlays Google Maps to his site, and that proves that it's was a service vehicle coming down a service road for power lines. So you can go and find that on Metadunk. I think I've pointed that out before. So just plug it into the editor and do a zoom in. And like I said, it's going to be two blobs. That's probably the best we're going to get. So it's not a single craft. I mean, if it's a UFO, it's not a single craft, it's two together. Let's see. You could run it through some filters. Sometimes you can get a shape of an object behind pop out if you're lucky. Almost looks like there's a search beam going down this way, yeah? But it's just not bright enough for the camera to be picking it up. Looks like a beam of spotlight going that way. Probably need one where it blinks. But it definitely looks like it's got some sort of beam going that way, like a search helicopter would have. A police helicopter. So let's just carry on with the video. So there's the red light appearing there, if we can get it. I think that's the red light there. We'll slow it down a wee bit. Had to be. So he's saying it's not a sphere there. So you can't see the blinking light now. Maybe because the spotlight beam is coming around this direction. Looks like they're searching or following something on the road below. And it looks like they've hovering now and changed the angle of the search beams, and we're getting this crazy effect happening. And why would you get that effect? Well, helicopter rotors spinning around, right? Interfering with the light that the camera's picking up. And looks like is it going to head back the other direction now? Yep, it's changed direction. You see, and the blinking stopped. What he called the sparkling. No, the hovering again. Definitely looking for something there. And it goes on for quite a long time, as you can see. And it goes on for 42 minutes. So we'll just skim up. So it seems to be around that location there that they're concentrating on. I don't think anything else happens, right? Here we are, he's talking about a beam of light now. It could be something besides a searchlight. Could easily be a beam, the probe, or a sphere. So why would a UFO be flying that low over a main city? Where's all the other news channel reports about it? You know, you got to be critical thinkers here, right? Looks like I chopped off your messages here by mistake. Alice, what's going on? Shitty camera. Well, it's actually a high-end color night vision. Yeah. I watched it about 20 times and I bet my life it's a UFO. I know, and you need to get some critical thinking, mate. You need to get some skills. You need to start watching all my videos. It's not a UFO. It's not doing anything that a search helicopter wouldn't do. It's not going to go shooting straight upwards and disappear, right? It's not anything alien. What's he done here? Yeah, he's looking at some stars. So did it go behind? Alright, so it looks like it's carrying something underneath the helicopter now. So where did that bit come in? Looks like that's what they're doing. They're hovering with a search beam and something coming down, being lowered from the helicopter to pick up something and transport it. It could be rescuing someone to take them to a hospital. It's definitely got a little tiny light on it. Looks like it's near some sort of tower building. Is that part of this rooftop though? That could be a pipe from the house, isn't it? That's a pipe from the house, I think. Overflow pipe for hot water, maybe. You can see there's a lot of lights on the ground there. I don't think aliens would have got away with that. But anyway, as you know, you can plug in the date and time. Like he hasn't done anything on this video. He hasn't done any analysis on it. Is this feeding you a story like Secureteam does? So, first of all, we've got to convert it to universal time. So the time is 11th of December, 6 o'clock. Let's make it bigger there. Now 6:30, but I think it started about just before 6 o'clock on this time here, which it means it's in the evening. So you want to convert to universal time. It's the first thing you do for Las Vegas. What was the time? 1800 maybe? I'll say 1804. Doesn't matter what day it is, I suppose. So it says it's a universal time of 2 AM. So let's plug it in. Forward day. So you need a obviously a membership to be able to search. Greater than 7 days, I think it is on here. So first of all, you need to find America on the map. Over here. And you want to go to Las Vegas. Should be here somewhere, shouldn't it? Las Vegas. Too many planes in the sky. And when I toggle to get rid of those, choose up the CPU as well. It's amazing we don't have more crashes in the sky. Nevada should be here somewhere, shouldn't it? Looking for a city name to pop up. Oh, here we go. Las Vegas. And you can start to see the mountain ranges around Las Vegas here that I was talking about. And Barone is on one of them, looking in the other direction. So what you can do now is plug in information on playback. So it was the next day at 2 o'clock, I think. I think I may have made a mistake here actually. I think I found a police helicopter that matched the pattern, but I'll have a look. Maybe I did a mistake there. I'll just double check because I do have a lot of helicopters flying around. 2 in the morning. 19. Start playback. So yep, you got a helicopter that sort of matches it straight away here. This one here, which looks like a police helicopter, is it? Yep, another police helicopter. Looks like it's going in the direction of the mountains here. And what else we got? So, it's landed at the moment, or it's not doing anything. Seems to be doing something there. Hovering in one spot, right? Now it's starting to move. There you go. Which is the same what his video was doing. So what are they up to? Now they're hovering again, which his videos seem to do as well. And it's turning around, which his video showed. And does it fly back? I just love this program, it's really cool. But it's a lot easier if you use... so we got another helicopter coming up, so that's going to meet it. So I'm not sure if that was in his video or not, but there was 2 objects, wasn't there? Oh look, we got another 3rd helicopter heading towards that way. Oh, it disappeared. Did it land on a building top? Was it a hospital over that way? So what time is it? So it's probably moved on quite a bit by now. Now, let's get back out of this one. So the Christmas tree's in the way. So 2:30:29, it disappeared. I think it's that helicopter there, right? But it would have been a lot easier if he had this app installed in his phone. Just hold it up to the sky and it would have overlaid the flight number. It looks like it's still playing here. I didn't pause it. But yeah, I plugged in 11 as well. And I got this one. So I'm not too sure if I got the right time. Let's see, UNC 1800 should be the next time on Nevada. Yes, it looks like that must be the helicopter. And it seemed to do a lot of hovering there, doing something. But yeah, I think maybe I made a mistake on this one because I didn't change the date because it's still on the 11th here. You can see here this one's actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 helicopters in the air there, and this one seems to go around in a similar circle, the flight path for that helicopter on the previous night at the same time, which is kind of interesting. But you can see how much air traffic there is there, right? So I think it's another police helicopter on that one. It's got the police emblem on the side, black and white. N911WY. And what was the other one? Had something similar. So I think it's that helicopter flying around. Have we got any more on this video? Obviously it disappears, right? Because at the end that helicopter lands obviously on top of a building. So what time is that? Only 15 minutes on right there. And 26 at the moment. What's going on here? Looks like it's picked up some speed. 1831. Is that the same one returning, or is it one of the other helicopters that we saw flying in the air at the time? Do not subscribe to Steve Barone. Hey Neil, you get booted if you carry on. I've just shown you it's a helicopter, mate. So let's bring up some other debunks from him anyway. I'll just say, alright, I was gonna do a correction on that one, but it doesn't matter. I need to look at some UFO stalking now, but Steve Barone is on Metabunk. if we can find it. Probably won't come up because he didn't put his name on it. Reddit. Here we go. Someone's posted up something as well. Large red orb caught on video from Henderson. Reddit people are generally clued up people in the UFO community there. They know about Secureteam. They know about the hoaxes out there. Steve Barone loves trying to pass off videos of vehicles off-road around the city as something anomalous. I feel pretty confident of this. In part of having, until only recently, lived near Summerlin in Las Vegas myself, off-roading is a common hobby for locals. For those trying to get better handle on where he's shooting from, you can look at his early videos. He used to include a screenshot of Google Maps with his desert foothills. So when he talked about lights being on the side of the Sam Boyd Stadium, we're talking about him recording at a distance of 20 miles. Really, I was wondering why he included the vehicles in the second part. He had just stuck to the first segment of the video and provided exactly what he was filming from, which would allow people to see which direction the lights were. So he's not using any apps either, right? So just remember, anyone that's putting up UFO videos without getting a third party expert to analyze it for them is not credible. Skywatchers are terrible at analysing their own videos. Doesn't mean that they might be faking stuff or they may be misidentifying stuff. You always got to submit your stuff to MUFON. I don't think Steve Barone has submitted any videos to MUFON and proven that it was an unknown object. He does a lot of videos. It's always a red flag. So yeah, lights, houses, street lights, helicopters. So yeah, he's been posting around the groups trying to promote his channel. So what else we got popping up? UFO interest. Again. Like I said, you always gotta do background checks, people. Looks like where was Steve Barone listed? December. What did it bring up that page? Let's see, what was it saying? So Finn Handley, Steve Barone. Some of his videos are taken from an angle which means the lights in the distance aren't even aircraft. They are cars on highways. That's what it says there. So there's something about Steve Barone here on UFO Theatre's page. I'm talking about Secureteam again. Probably in the comments. So, Steve Barone, I'm not sure if he's updated his channel. So that's an old post. Where's the Barone comment? There we go. So who's this from? Oh, it's from UFO Theatre called Constantine. I think he's got a couple of names. I think that might be his middle name that he uses for a first name. I'm not saying he never features videos that real people send to him. In fact, he tried to select footage from Steve Barone, but Steve turned Tyler down flat. Despite the audience it could bring him, because he's a known Tyler fraud. So he's only making reference to Steve Barone. Debunk. Steve Barone channel, he's a nice guy. So what's that one? Project Avalon. Again, it's mentioning Secureteam. Can't get away from Secureteam, can we? Flat Earth. People asking for others to be added to the blacklist by looks of it, is it? As you can see, there's a lot of UFO channels out here listed on his blacklist. Go and check it out. And there's Scott Warren, or Scott C. Warren. Where's Barone listed now? I didn't see. Yeah, if I want to find the Metabunk one, which is a bit hard to find, because I don't think he put Barone in the title. And I tried to make a comment and deleted it because he didn't agree with my words I used, like fraud. Metabunk, Vegas UFO, maybe. I can spell it right. UFO. Probably going to be a few of those though. Airline passenger. Well, we know that was a solar farm. That's out that way. Does it come up? Multiple. Yep. I'm just trying to think of the title. It was UFOs, maybe. Let's see. Covered it in past lives. In fact, probably could do a search for Barone. So we got 31. There's my initial debunk on him. And then there's been other ones. Oh, gone and clicked on it. And Barone's come up for that one for some reason. There has been an update though. There was an update one I did. I think it might be in 35. That's probably where the Mick West update comes in, probably. So what did it come up with that one? Can't see his name in it. Oh, look at, here we go. It is there, number 3. So let's have a look. I met a bunk, probably. What was the one after that? Background radiation. There's Reno again. So it's in here, I think. As soon as you can find it. Oh, here we go. It's got Mick West's photograph here. Oh, he's talking about clouds, I think. Where's the side chat on this? Where's the side chat gone? I could probably search. Did we lose the side chat on that one? Which is a pain if we did. Where's the side chats? Maybe they didn't have side chat back then, so it's possible because that was a pretty new feature, wasn't it? Oh, but we saw it in the listing. So what happened to the side chat? Google trashed it. Very interesting. Well, that's a shame. Transcript then. I just want to find the web link. Maybe I've pasted it in the side chat, you see. But it looks like I can't do that. Control F. Barone. Why is it not working? Yeah, it doesn't work properly without try Vegas. Could be that one. I think it's translated it wrong here though. Is that the right location? Looks like it's on for ATP or something. UFOs over Vegas. There we go. So it's at that location here. Now, unfortunately, was that the end of it or the start of it? Metabunk. Talk about clouds there. Maybe I was talking about doing it later. Hang on. Maybe it's not in that one. Let's see. It must be in that one though. I'll look at UFOs. Let's see if we can find it. It's annoying. Las Vegas. UFO Las Vegas. What's the location that it was in? Henderson, I think it was. Let's see what comes up with that. Back west. I'll tell you what, Google sucks at times. Henderson's not coming up. Valley. Dozen or more Southern Valley UFOs. Here we go, that might be it. That's the one. UFOs in Las Vegas desert. So he does a really good analysis here. And you can see he doesn't use the guy's name, so it's not searchable on the web, which is pretty useless. He should have really in brackets Barone. So Metabunk destroys Barone again. Now will you believe me? Alright, so you can see he's got a map here where Barone is. There you go. Camera location. So he's filming out towards the hills over this way. Which, if you remember right, when I was looking at that helicopter, it was hovering here, wasn't it? And it flew over this way. So he's talking about also surface power lines, road going up the hill here. And he's got some street view of the location. It's just a dirt road that follows the power line but matches the location of the lights, so the lights must have been vehicles on the road, not UFOs. Okay, so this is just still from his video. So we've got two lights there, so you'd have to go find that video. I don't know if he's linked to it. He hasn't got a title at all. Southern Valley UFOs, so I probably could find that video in question. UFOs over Vegas, isn't it? What's happened? Alright, what's happened here? What's happened to the chat? What's going on here? Have we dropped off or something? No, looks like it's going alright over there. Something screwy going on there. I tell you, Google's got a few bugs. There we go, back to normal. Hopefully. So, what I've been saying. Yeah, most people do believe in UFOs. That's true. Well, I believe in life at least. And it's crazy to think that we're so important that we think we're the only ones alive in the universe, when we might be the youngest in the universe, not the oldest in the universe, and aliens have been around for maybe billions of years and have put bases throughout the universe. In fact, they may have even seeded the planets as they've gone. So who knows? The aliens got Or maybe our DNA is unique, so they come here to study us, to understand why we're so different to every other planet. And we just don't know. And we won't know in our lifetime, and probably won't know for thousands or millions of years. We're not going to be around unless we put our brain consciousness into a android robot. So I'm not sure if that video is still up or not. I did post the link, didn't I? Maybe that's what I stuffed up. I posted it in the wrong place, did I? Metabunk. I'll just post it again just in case. So, you know, you can still find out lots more out there. UFO Interest has got some stuff up. A lot of websites did have a lot up debunking Barone stuff, but the websites have gone offline. But yeah, I don't think we should really waste too much time on it. But if he's got a video there of that debunk, we could have had a quick look at how the lights are moving down the road. But yeah, I think we'll just move on. Spent a lot of time on all other stuff. So let's have a look at UFO Stalker instead. Something a bit more interesting. Looks like that's too big. About there, I suppose. So yeah, straight away we've got a picture here. It looks like a blimp. What's that blimp over there? Goodyear blimp. These are the submissions that we get on MUFON. We've got a light going to a tree there. I think we've looked at that one before. So what's this one here? Just a single photograph. Great. And it's of National Geographic. And you know what MUFON's going to do with that one. They'll delete that straight away. He's taken an image from a TV show to talk about his sighting though. So they may not delete it. But you can see here, it looks like a cut and paste job. Got these weird trademarks. Looks like he's cut and pasted it from another website. Maybe he's reported it to another website. Or maybe he's just a hoaxer, right? Found on Google search. So what the hell is he submitting this? I saw this from a show, UFO Chasers. So we know about sightings like this. It could be like a contrail of a plane that's just started to show up as it's flying in the sky. It could be an emanation being on a TV show. It could be slow shutter speed, so you get a long streak in the sky of something that's a bright light. So yeah, we'll just look for something better than that. What's this one here? We've got something in the sky here. So what's the explanation for it? So I'll save that photograph so we can have a look at it in detail. I wish people would do videos as well as photographs when they see something. I bet he saw it after he took the photograph. That's normally the case, right? So what's the description?
I was in the Wichita Mountains with my mom and brother, and as we were walking over a dam I took pictures from the dam. I went and looked back at the pictures to see how they looked, and I noticed there was something in the picture that I did not see before or after taking it with the naked eye. There is a military base around the Wichita Mountains, so there were no flying objects like blimps and drones allowed in the area, so I was not sure what it was, and I am still not sure.
Okay, so let's see if we can suss it out then. So like I said, he saw it after. Look back at the pictures, which is basically what it said would be the case. And it's when people see UFOs. That one's done with. So let's just do a quick zoom. So I notice it's near a waterway here. As you know, you can get moisture in the air from streams. And what have we got here? The edge here. Is that some sort of a wall structure? Bridge looking over a river? Looks like it. So we got little round specks everywhere really. But this one here, what is it? Could it be a Photoshop? To me, it kind of looks like one of those silver mailer balloons. Straight off the bat. I don't know. Probably ain't going to have much more to go on there because I've only got one picture. This way you need multiple pictures to see how it's moving through the air, like it's drifting or if it's stationary. So I don't think we'll be able to cool this one. It does have to be like an unknown boiler balloon, or maybe a speck of water that's sort of got into the shot blowing in the air, you know. So paste into a new image. Scale that one up. Probably need to go bigger, but does it look like it's a cut and paste job on a Photoshop? Notice how it seems to be in a block, and it's got various smaller pixels inside there, and it's sort of a classic sign of a Photoshop of a JPEG image. I think it's JPEG. Let's see if we can find out metadata on it. Send to exit if which one? GUI. Go to that one. Let's see what it comes up with. If it's on a real camera, it should have a make of a phone straight away. Let's have a look. So where's the camera make? I can't see any camera make there. Information is missing, which means it could be edited. A lot of technical information you can find in the metadata, you see. But that one's very bare. No camera focal length, no camera model, which means it could be fabricated. It's 720 by 960. So I think that's an abnormal size, isn't it? For camera. Normally the camera's like 12 megapixels, so that's only like less than probably a 1080. That's less than 1080p video frame. I don't know any cameras that do 720 by 960 pixels are normally a lot higher than that. So straight away, red flag is going on this one that it's a fabrication that's been submitted to MUFON, unfortunately. And because the way the pixels here are arranging, it's kind of suspect that it's a cut and paste job. Let's reset that again. You notice it's nice over a nice color background there, it's all constant. So my gut feeling on this one is it's fabricated. Single photograph. No metadata. So there's not really much we can do with this one. It could be a balloon, but without running it through other processes to check the compression rate. But to me that looks like a cut and paste job. So I think we'll move on. I'll just leave that there. It looks too, you know what I mean? It looks too in focus. Generally, it should be a bit more blurrier than that, right? There's something, you know, you just get a bad feeling about a video or a photograph. It looks like a Photoshop. It should be a wee bit more out of focus because where's the focal points in this photograph? See, that's either got to be an object so close to the camera that it's in focus. It's got to be the same distance. It's got to be inside those rocks, right, to be that in focus, which means he should have seen it with his eyes. It's not far away or moving very fast because it's not too blurry, you see. It's not blurry like you should get on a smartphone. Nah, that one's got to be a fake. Okay, let's move on. This is a problem with the UFO field. There's so many people thinking they're going to be clever and see if they can get away with tricking MUFON investigators. This one looks like it's going to be a lens flare or something, right? We've got a sun picture. Never aim your camera at the sun because you always get weird artifacts because of the technology and the glass lens. What are we saying here on the side chat? We need some helpers. You're saying it's good, Susan. We should be focusing on what I'm doing here, guys, and helping out. What do you think it is? Okay, so what have we got? Looks like we've got a couple of lens flares. So what are we talking about? The clouds covered a wee bit moss. Looks like we still got a bit of a lens flare up there. Another waste of time one. So what was he said here? Not much. Saw it. Couldn't believe. Ran back to get camera and took some pictures. Saw what though? See, that's gonna go into the trash bin there, I reckon. Took a pictures of what though? There's nothing in that picture apart from lens flare. So there's not much you can do with that one because we ain't got enough information to go by. What's this one here? A blimp-like object. Okay, maybe it's a blimp.
Blimp-like object captured on iPad not noticed until I opened image and browsed from top to bottom.
Yeah, so let's have a look at this one. I can see something here. Looks like it's going to be a small bug. Close to the camera lens. Looks like it could be a fly or a bee. We can zoom in on that probably and see if it's got a shape to it. So done with that one. Let's get on. Okay, so we want to cut that one out here. So this one again looks like a real photograph because you look how many pixels we're talking about here. I basically look at that through the software. We'll probably have a camera make on this one. Let's see. There you go. Straight away we've got a model number. iPhone 7. And what software? We've got the focal length and all that sort of business. The lens. Aperture. Shutter speed. 1/5000. Which is pretty good. That means it's 5,000 frames a second. So we should be able to get a good detail of the object on that one, hopefully. Generally you need about 1/8000 though to catch a bug properly. And to be able to see detail. You know, how you get these drones flying around that doing 1080p, 60 frames. They always get blurred objects. But if you put it on shutter mode rather than video mode and set it to the highest frame rate the camera does, you can get some excellent shots of something flying close to the drone camera very fast. Like bugs, birds, falcons attacking it. It's a common one. They will attack it. Hawks, what else? Maybe I cut that one a wee bit too low, but we'll scale it up. I mean, cut it too high. so it's low in the picture. So there you go, that's 1/5, and we can start to see what looks like a wing beat in there. It looks like it could be a bird. So I might recut that one again. But this is a good photograph. Paste. Yeah, let's scale that one up. That was a bit better. Bible UFOs. It's all subjective there, though, isn't it? You're reading words of some description that's said in verse, and it could be anything, you know. A meteorite comet coming down. So, doesn't look like a, what did he say, a blimp? Doesn't look like a blimp, does it? So, I don't know if you can zoom in more on that, but we'll try. There we go. Does look like it's got some wings. It is bird shaped. It looks like a tail fin going this way, right? Feathers moving, so we got some motion blur. So that's why you need to get even higher frame rates. I think it's a bird this time. It's got multiple tones in that. Kind of looks like the beak's open there, right? Bottom of the beak there. And some motion blur going downwards. So it looks bigger than what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Can't get any more details of that, I don't think. Could try lightning. Looks like a beak of a bird there. Oh. Going yeah as it's flying past. And we don't see the wings because of the motion. And the way the camera works with rolling shutter. It's just not fast enough to process it even at 1/5000. What am I trying to do? But clearly it's not a UFO, right? So you can see that's not a craft. Unless the mimicking birds, of course. So does it look like a blackbird, maybe opening its beak there? It does kind of look like it, doesn't it? Probably should have applied some sharpener to it. See what that gives us. Better detail. Is it doing it? Oh yeah. So we ain't got enough pixels to go with, unfortunately. Yeah, it's no good. So yeah, I think it's a bird head that direction. But you can see how much we've improved it by zooming in and just sharpening the details a bit more with the filters. It looks like a head of a bird, this side beak, the belly of it, going up to the tail feathers here, and of course the beak and wings, which didn't show up on camera on that particular frame anyway. So I think we can move on from that one. It's always good to have a look at pictures though, it's quite a fun. What location is that though? So it looks like a bird that's sort of flying away, heading towards the trees over this way. Of course, you can also look at the photographs yourself through UFO Stalker. I'll post that one to it here. So all you need to do is go to this website here and click on the photo camera icon, and it brings up cases that have got video or pictures with it. Here we go for time. 4:30 already, my time. 2.5 hours coming up. So yeah, we've got a light in the sky here. I think we may have looked at that one before. Arizona. 2 videos. It seems to ring a bell. Early morning sighting of 14 UFOs traveling at very high speed. And of course, Arizona is surrounded by Air Force bases, right? So the best description there was. Okay, so let's read it out. I had a lot to say this one.
The best description is that there was a fleet of approximately 14 objects at an extremely high altitude at my 12 o'clock. My first observation was that it was a single satellite. Then I began seeing others. They were coming in waves of 2. It would be what I call a very relaxed formation. Essentially, when the last 2 came over, the first 2 had reached the far western horizon. There was about a 40% cloud cover, but the clouds were thin, so you could follow the objects through them. One of the groups had a third unit, and as they traveled they never changed position in relation to one another. The first one I saw came to a standstill and stayed there the entire time. It moved very short distances erratically, and I may have been in some distress. The moon was also straight above, and very bright. I took a pic and videos, but the objects were relatively small, and the moon FLSHED them out, but I did get some images on a still shot. My fiancée had joined me and saw them as well. I got a small high-powered flashlight and sent signals to the stationary object with no response. At this time, as we were watching the objects continuously fly over, a meteorite fell from the north behind us and disintegrated in front of us at a range of about 1,000 feet, giving the familiar green glow at an altitude of about 200 feet. Due to the altitude, THS fleet may not have had any intention of landing on Earth.
I don't know, does it seem a wee bit too rehearsed there? Seems to have everything in that one. Objects moving, stationary objects, which could be illumination flares. So yeah, he didn't actually say UFO there though, he said objects. So he hasn't classified it there, which is kind of strange. He hasn't said he doesn't think it's planes. And then he talks about a meteorite coming down and blowing up. It just seems too clean cut to me. But suspect. So what are we looking at here? Could be anything in it there. Looks like illumination flare, even possible. Or was that the moon? So yeah, I don't know. It could be one of those LED balloons that light up pretty bright like that too. What's this one? So it looks like he's drawn on it something here. What? I don't know. What's in the circles? Can't see anything. It's like a single pixel of light, is it? Can't get any closer than that. Something very dim there. Can't see anything in that one. He's got good eyesight. Better than mine, anyway. He thinks there's something in those. Super soon. So we got a couple of videos, so we'll just download and have a watch. See what happens. Depends how big they are, of course. Might take hours to download. So it's iPhone 7, which is a movie file, which is correct. So everything checks out there, and if we download this picture, which won't take too long, we should have some metadata for it. Well, we'll see if it's iPhone, a movie file. And let's see. So, no, it's not an iPhone, it's a Canon PowerShot. So you can see the difference between these two images and that first one we looked at with the orb in it being the Photoshop. This has got nice details on it. It's also got proper sizes. See, we're not talking about 720p, but we're talking about 3000, 4000 by 2000, which is 8 times 2, which is 16 megapixels, right? That's how you work it out. I suppose if you type it in, it'll be roughly there. 15 megapixel, 16 megapixel camera. Probably if you look up the camera specs as well, copy to clipboard, we can find some technical information about it. Well, it looks like it's downloaded now. So let's just find some specs on it. There we go. 14 megapixel. So my calculations are slightly wrong. What was it? Something like 3000 times 2100, I think. What's happened? That can't be right. 6. I must have misread it. Was it 4000? 3744. So that's 8 megapixels then. 7 close to 8. How did I manage to get to being double? What was I reading? I must be getting tired. Okay, what did I read wrong here? Right, here we go. 5,000, right? It does say 3.7. So it's a 14 megapixel camera, but he's got the settings so it's only an 8 megapixel picture. So that's what we're looking at. Although, no, it's the correct camera. Yeah, so it goes up to 4003 and he's got it on a lesser setting for this. So okay, that solves that. And so let's have a look at the video. Let's come to the other screen. I don't think it's got any sound working, is it? Oh, yes, it has. I can hear some sirens in the background. What was that weird sound? Was that a fire truck in America? Because the sound gives you a lot of clues, right? It could be a fire, it could be fire trucks in the distance. It could be something that's crashing. So nothing seems to be moving, so I'm not too sure what we're looking at here. Could that be Chinese lanterns? What's all this here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Looks like the ground's there rather than the sky. Something going up with the air currents, right? And drifting towards where they're located. Oh, looks like sky lanterns. So what's the other video then? Let's have a look. Complicated, analysing some stuff, as you can see. Summon your UFO. That's called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. When you summon. C5. Still coming down. If that's the case, we wouldn't need UFO disclosure from the government, would we? We better summon them and just have all your HD cameras set up filming it. So yeah, I'm very skeptical that that actually works. I think if aliens show themselves, they want to show themselves. You can't call them like a lapdog. That'd be like them calling us, and we're just telling them to bugger off, right? I'm not coming, and I'm quite happy where I am. So the sirens are gone now. And so are the red lights. Yeah. This is where you need a thermal camera, hey? So where's he gone? Where's it gone? Let's scroll down. I suppose we could brighten it a wee bit. Let's see if it works. Oh. Which one is it? That one? Right. one. Video brightness, saturation, gamma. Okay, why is it not affecting it?
Aren't you cold?
This is exciting. Here comes some more.
Oh, now it is. There we
What
go.
in the world?
That changes it a wee bit, doesn't it?
The baby in.
What's this? Not. Yeah, so we need to play that again. It's not too exciting though. How come it didn't save it? Just save it on that, just in case it ends. So we've got some strange patterns occurring here. Almost looks like it's on videotape, doesn't it? What was the year he filmed this? So you can put it on videotape. 2019, this month. Yesterday, or today. Yesterday. 14 UFOs tracking at very high altitudes. Well, I haven't seen 14 UFOs in that video. And what's he doing now? So was that light that we're looking at on the moon? Could that be the moon? And it's reflecting off some clouds here. Looks like two cloud layers that the camera's sort of picking up. See, he hasn't got any pan-back shots at all. Makes it really hard.
What in the world?
There's objects there, the camera's not obviously showing us, apart from noise.
The baby in.
So yeah, just load the other one. Again. Oh, there you go, we can start to see buildings now. That makes more sense now, doesn't it? So what have we got? So they're on a balcony. And that's Christmas lights here. You can see the different colours now. There's reds, greens, yellows. Some Christmas thing. That we don't know. But it seems to have a line coming down. Is that a high mast light there? Is it another guy trying to prank us? Because it certainly looks like it. So the sirens are obviously in the streets behind the buildings here. And that could be some clouds here that's being lit up by the moon. Looks like it could be an angle of a building roof going along here. See, that looks like something going up. But the camera hasn't picked it up because it's very dark. So it's other building here, by the looks of it. So yeah, unless he's talking about those little circles of pins of light, we're not sure what he's filming here. That looks like a light on top of a high-rise here. So, yeah. Why is this shimmering effect happening? It's a good question. Handycam? Well, it should be. What's this Photoshop? Is that a handycam? Let's see if we can get some pictures of it. I suppose I closed it down now, did I? So it's like a handycam power shot. Oh no. Should be that device there. So I guess the shimmering is caused by the low light. Unless they're filming through glass. See that vertical stripe there? Yeah, this line here, what is creating that? Doesn't look like lens flare, does it? Because he's moving the camera. Could it be an edge of window? Maybe look, the window slid open there. So they would have to be asked more questions, I think. Not exciting though, is it? Just close that down again. So yeah, we're going for time anyway. I've got to wrap up soon, guys. It's coming up to the hour again. So where's the image we took? That one. Is that the moon or what? I think it's the moon, because look, you got the edge of it there. Might stick it through some filters. But I think he's looking at something here that we can't quite see. So it's more likely to be Chinese lanterns, surely. I'm not seeing anything. Let's look at his other photograph. So if you become a MUFON investigator, you sort of have to go through these. So they will give you part of the test. It will be to go through some of the database, see if you can solve them, get more information from the people, and then someone will go over it, I guess, and check the work and let you know, probably work with you. Anyone can become a MUFON investigator. You've got to pay your money though. It's not free. You've got to pay a monthly subscription, right? So this is the one he's drawing on again. So we'll use this other zoom function. So there definitely is a really, really faint light there. Could be anything, right? Could be planes far away. What the hell is that? That's a mistake, right? He's gone with the editor and drew a circle by mistake and didn't delete it. I think. Is there anything in that one? Sure enough, there's a little faded blob there. That one up there. Now that one's I can't see at all. Definitely can't see anything in that one. Then if you go up to this one up here, there's a slight faint stuff there. So yeah, So that's probably the moon. You can see probably the buildings. Looks like he's gone above the buildings here a wee bit more, because to me it looked like the top of the buildings here and the edge of the buildings over here. You can't see it in that. Still, it's quite good to have a look at that video. It's quite interesting what you can do with it. I always think it's fun myself. So why is it not doing it? So that sort of brings out some details that we didn't see. Okay. Something bright there. That has to be the moon up there. So there's a couple of lights here and there, which is very similar to the ones he's circled. But they could be stars, right? So where's the buildings gone? The buildings now disappeared, so I think the buildings are way down here. Maybe at the top of the building there. Looks like something there, right? It looks like some blackness there. Like there's a top of something happening. Probably just Chinese lanterns being let go, right? Celebrations for a wedding. Drifting up with the air currents. But yeah, don't know, guys. Interesting. We couldn't see it in the enhanced footage with the brightness, with the lights that he was circling here. It probably would have been best to do shutter mode with the high frame rate, and then what he could have done is then convert it into a video, and then you could see how they were moving. So what's the other image? I think that's the same one without the editing. I don't think it's satellites, because it seems to be moving from the ground upwards. If you had to look at that last one I was looking at. But we can't see it in the video because it's lower quality. The video is, that'll be like 720p or 1080p. What was the information on that? Well, the photographs are 8 megapixels. That'll be like 8 times the quality of the video camera frame. So it's only 30 frames a second here. Not sure if the picture told us what frames it was doing. Let's see. Flash. So it's even worse, right? 1/8. It's worse than the video camera for frame rate. So that's no good. And the video is at pixels. See, the video is only 480p, right? It's not even high definition doing the video. What's the point of doing that? Why would you have it set so low? That one's the same, 480p, right? It's not even 1080p. So that's what metadata is used for. So when you load graphics like that, lights in the sky, you ain't going to tell much details from it. So we've got some light here still. Let's just have a look. So yeah, clouds, stars in the background that you can't quite see with your naked eye. Well, actually, the naked eye can actually do better than camera. The eyes seem to adjust to allow more starlight in, like long exposure. It doesn't suffer the same problems that camera technology has. But yeah, it looks like these are the circles ones that he was trying to circle. He got the wrong location, I think. Some ones he circled was down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4, 5, 6 down here. A cluster of lanterns being lit off. So yeah, so not much you can do with that one. Doesn't look anything UFO-y to me. But I might just have to wrap it up on that one, guys. Getting late for me here. I've got to go and do some chores. Offline chores. The dog will want his Elton. Else he mopes all night. Charlie Roo. So I'll give you a link to this one here if you want to have a look at it yourself. And download it and zoom it on your own screens. See if you can get it better than what I can. My laptop's doing lots of things here, streaming as well as capturing audio and all the other things. So he said cloud cover here, which sort of that photograph says that it's got some whispery clouds that the light's reflecting. 14 objects, high altitude. Well, you can't really tell altitude from lights in the sky, really. My first observation was a single satellite, then it began seeing others. Comes in waves of 2, so that sounds like Chinese lanterns to me. Then I began seeing others that are coming in waves. Well, it could be those LED lead balloons, which I've talked about, which they use for weddings now. They just might be far away, lead and balloons. So it's possible that it could be these things that people release at weddings. So kind of different colours as well. Generally white for wedding though, but you can see here they've got some blue ones. Slightly different colours there. Look how bright those ones are. You see, if you release that, you've got lots of UFOs in the sky. And you've got different colour ones with LEDs. And you've got these other ones that are more filled in. And there's someone releasing them. So I bet that caused a few UFO reports. There's one outside. There you go, they're releasing them. So that ends up being pollution in the sea and forests. Kills off some animals for your celebration. I reckon they should be banned myself. Look how bright they are. See, we got to stop all this plastic pollution in our world, and getting rid of balloons would be one thing. At least you can have them made from another material where they dissolve back into like sludge or slime or something like that. Here's some colour ones. So you get what I mean. You got ones with happy faces in it even. But yeah. So normally what you do in that one, you would use the apps, right? So you would use Heavens Above to rule out satellites passing overhead. All you do is install the app on your smartphone and just aim it at the sky with the camera going, or it actually activates the camera and overlays the star map for you, and satellites and International Space Station, of course. So maybe they saw the International Space Station pass over, and the objects might be from another event, like the wedding balloons, right? So it could be multiple things that happen. You always got to keep that in mind when you're analysing videos, that it might be 1, 2, or 3 events that happen in the same part of the thing, or you might get a plane fly past as well, or a military jet, and then that might drop illumination flares, and this carries on from there. So 40% Cal Clover, we could confirm that. He doesn't talk about the buildings on the side there on the video though. Distance. So I think we've probably nailed that one there. Possibly being sky lanterns. And as you see, we only looked at like 3 or 4 videos there, and it's just chewed up like 40 minutes just like that. And it's time consuming. Now that one looks like it's camera artifact, because he's aiming at the moon and he's getting a single dot, right? So it's like lens flare, but in this case it's probably going to be autofocus orb artifact, which I've covered before, where certain phones produce them where the light's too bright and the autofocus thing bleeds over into the normal sensor array, sensors either side, and creates an artificial dot on the screen. So what do you say here? Probably not much. First seen out the window, took 2 photographs, then we went outside and took photographs. So he's claiming he saw it with his eyes. Somehow I doubt that. But it does look like an autofocus blob to me, because it sort of lines up. Is that the moon behind the cloud there? You can definitely see it's some sort of lens flare happening. I don't think they saw it with their eyes, unless they saw something else, and I don't think that one's going to be like an LED balloon, but it's possible. So why don't they take a video of it, you know? Yeah, so that's another one that's a wee bit suspect. Always take a video as well as a photograph, even if the video's gone, even if the UFO is gone. Always take a video of the location, and if it's nighttime, always go back and take a daylight photograph and video and post it together. So then you can overlay it and see how high it is. If you got 2 cameras, take it on 2 different angles, then you can probably calculate the speed of it and altitude. Here's another one where they're aiming the camera at a cloud with the sun behind it. And can we see any artifacts in that one from bright lights or any UFOs? Looks like we got some blob up here, maybe. I'll get to it. That looks like a part of a cloud there though. So it's not actually a blob. You can see that's got some whispery bits coming off it there. So I don't know if that's what he's talking about. It's a fairly good, interesting photograph though. So what's he saying about it? I'll just finish up on this one. Again, it looks like a cut and paste job going on here, or some strange where he's like it's a post on a Facebook, by the looks of it, in a different language, and he's copied and pasted it. I was walking with a family pet. in a park. So I'll just read out a wee bit of it.
I was walking the family pet at the park. I was looking at the cloud formation and had a feeling of taking a photo for my Facebook page. I kept walking the pet with poking feeling on my back. I decided to take a photo. When I was reviewing the quality, I noticed the object. I tried to zoom in the area, but I did not find it. Estaba pasando a la mascota de la familia en el parque. Estaba.
Okay, so part is in English and other in Spanish. Translated. So he's saying he didn't see it with the photograph. Is that how we read that? I was reviewing the quality. I noticed the object. I tried to zoom in the area, but I didn't find it. So I'm not too sure what he means by that. He didn't find it, or it's actually in the photograph. But we had a look quickly. So nothing obvious there. It's like a big storm cloud. Yeah, I think it's time to wrap up this live for today. And we wanted to try and get Robert to do this time zone, so we had more Americans come on for Saturdays, but he has his mates over on the weekends and they keep interrupting him, so he said he can't do a live stream because they pop around at all time of the day, you know. To even, I think he had a mate even knock on his door at 3 in the morning once. So yeah, so we'll just catch up on the side chat here. What are we on about? Still about Tyler, I suppose, is it? Looks like he would have bailed out unless very serious offences. Yeah, so that's at the beginning of the video where I go over it anyway. We still got Ellie with us here, huh? Yeah, well, it's like they said in the thing that he had to do some courses, and we think it's him. I don't think there'd be two Tylers in the same location, unless he's got a double ganger, or what do you call it, UFO hybrid. So what else we got? What jail? He's not in jail though. He's only in jail for 3 days. So what I think what happened was probably went out drinking on a Friday or something like that, and he got pulled over by the cops, and probably way over the limit. So they stuck him in jail and impounded his car probably. And because it shuts down for the weekend, right? They stick him in jail until they process him for court, don't they, normally? Or if they get bail. So probably had to be in there for the weekend. The missus probably had to go there first thing on Monday with the bond money, getting released. And then he's been panicking probably ever since, wondering whether he's going to get a jail term, and probably didn't have the mood to make a video, which I don't blame him. And so yeah, then he had his court appearance not long ago, the 10th of December, which is what, 6 days ago now. So and he got off lightly, right? So it said he had 180 days for jail time, but they suspended it, which means if he does any other offences, he'll have to serve that 180 days in jail. I suppose it expires after a certain period, though, like in New Zealand here, probably after a year or something. But yeah, if you've got multiple offences for drunk driving, eventually they will crush your car in New Zealand. I'm not sure if they do it out in America, so you've got no transport. They crush the car so you can't hurt anyone, and give you a fine, and also put you in prison. So yeah, it's like a deadly weapon, isn't it? If you're driving a vehicle on a motorway and you under influence of some sort of drugs, like alcohol as a drug. So, yeah, interesting. Interesting what comes out eventually. You know, truth always wins, I think, is the term. And I always say question everything anyway. So did I have one like disappeared there? I thought it was up to 10 likes before, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's better than what I normally get. But it's good to have more people join us here. Although I wasn't able to monitor the chat very well. And I haven't got too many mods helping us out here. So what's Renee saying? Renee, you debunking? You're saying it's lead balloons. Those coloured lights are Chinese lights on the house on the bottom of the video. Yep, we figured that one out when we sharpened it, well, brightened it. What else we got? I wanted to see it raided. What should we talk about there? Bigelow's place. Let's go and raid Bigelow. I don't think so somehow. Forget about Storm Area 51. I think it's all happening in these research places, right? Lockheed and Bigelow and what's some of the other ones out there? Skunk Works, is it? I think that's Lockheed though, isn't it? And what's this one? South America. Caves. I'm not sure about cave chat. He wants to come to America. So you want a house guest there, Shelley? It's actually Shelley, but so she's got Ellie. Talking about Greer. But anyway, it's pretty good. Did we lose some chat there? It did go on a wee bit, didn't it? I haven't got time to go over it all. Well, anyway, we'll let it Google process it. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do next Sunday. Probably look at more videos, of course, and see if we can analyze it real time. But you can see here, obviously, you're going to have to give the people a call and get more information for some videos, right? But yeah, I'd still like to see a nice little classic silver UFO on video someday, hovering and shoot upwards at incredible speed. That a daylight one like this one here, which is another video we got. Oh yeah, that's the one we looked at, which I said was possibly most likely a Photoshop. But it'd be good to get something like that on video, like you got an object come along and then goes shoots off. Then we got something to go, haha, we got the smoking gun video finally. But maybe someone will get it sometime, hopefully. And I'll just say good night now, guys. I'll catch you. Well, we're thinking of trying to do something in the middle of the week, but we never have time. It's always busy. But weekends is the best time for people to come on. But what I would like to do is we've got some guests coming up that we're going to talk about the UFO sightings. Hopefully we've got a female from Western Australia going to give us some photographs and talk about her experiences. But it's hard to get people off Facebook onto Discord. Discord group is where it happens, and we can then get you onto Jitsi, the video mode, so you can either talk on Discord voice or you can come on video. And we're also looking at some other person that Robert's looking to, which we could probably organise to do an interview with him. He sounds like a credible source, so I don't know too much what's going on there because Robert was talking about it last night. So, got some interesting stuff coming up, hopefully. So, whether, depending on time zones, whether it could suit Americans is another thing. It might have to be a Saturday one where we try and do it mostly for UK, but if you're an early morning person, you can join in Saturdays because it's about 8 o'clock in the morning New York time, I think it is. So it depends where you are in America, of course, whether you can get up at that time. So yeah, interesting time. And of course, we've got Shelley as well on the side chat here, is going to hopefully get herself a better device so she can come on, and she's going to do some drawings, and we can just show the drawings of what she claims to have seen. But we did an initial voice one only about 4 live streams back, was it? 4 Sunday live streams back, something like that. Time flies, I tell you. Anyway, I'll just say good night all, and see what we can find out. We want the truth. We want some decent UFO stories and videos. Please like and share, and stay safe on the roads, of course. And don't drink and drive. So yeah, I'll just switch over to my other screen. In credits. And say good night. The Matrix Kiwi. He's shutting down the studio.